The War of the Worlds. Certainly seems that way. On one hand, we've got this flat earth model sold to us by the mainstream as an alternative to the globe earth theory. The globe earth theory is what we were all taught at school. Problem is, with that, it's physically impossible. The issue with the flat earth sold to us by the mainstream is it comes with so much baggage, so much misrepresentation, so much propaganda, so much silliness. And what makes it worse, the general public don't have the discernment to decipher and see the games at play and able to root out the bullshit, the propaganda from the simplistic truth. Because of the programming, because of the education system, misrepresentations do the job. And as a result, the simplistic truths of this realm get ignored. But when you strip it bare, the subject, don't stand by any map and model, like this channel has done since day one. Simply stand by physical demonstrations. No one can refute you. Everyone can verify you, the results of which prove the globe earth theory is physically impossible. That's why I get videos made about me claiming I'm a cult leader. I mean, that would be a pretty strange cult, wouldn't it? The cult of men who can demonstrate their claims through practical references that can be tested and verified by all. Nothing religious about that. It's just simplistic truths. Constantly misrepresenting me, attaching other people's claims, whether it be regarding maps and models, or regarding what the sun does in Antarctica in December. I always had the sense not to entertain things like suns in Antarctica, maps and models that I couldn't verify for myself. I knew from day one all I needed to do was stand by what can be tested and verified by all. Physics. That's all I ever needed. That's why no one can refute that stance. That's why I'm having to make this video, because the amount of mud being thrown my way recently is quite telling, and I think is a build-up for what's coming in December with this final experiment pantomime. Bear with me. You can literally spell it out for these people, and because of the psychology and the defense mechanisms at play, they still struggle to digest this and accept it. They have to have the propaganda in place in their own minds to justify their own crazy belief system, because without that, they end up feeling and looking rather silly.
You've got Level Earth Observer, who is absolutely adamant he's not a flat earther, despises the idea of being called a flat earther. Yet everything he believes seems to align with flat earthers, but he doesn't want to align himself with flat earthers. And
no, I'm wrong. Don't have a problem with flat earthers whatsoever. I just choose not to identify with words that have been propagandized by the mainstream media. So much so that the general public thinks ridiculous things of my claims, as we're about to see. Saw a video the other day that claimed I was a flat earth profiteer, one that had changed his tune regarding the 24-hour sun in Antarctica in December. Again, blatant lies, and this is from a supposed truther. There was a documentary done, a 40-minute documentary, part of which they claim I was a cult leader, and of course the rest of it was nothing but lies and misrepresentations. Plenty of ridiculous visuals as well, like we're seeing on our screen. This is the sort of propaganda I'm talking about, that someone like myself has never ever claimed. Ridiculous stuff. Why would I identify with something that the general public think is this on our screen? Why would I entertain their delusions and use loaded words that have been propagandized by the mainstream media knowing that the general public don't have the discernment to unwrap this. I mean, look at the ridiculous stuff on offer here. I don't need any of that. Never did, never will do. All I need is demonstrable reality. So what's coming in December? The fact they're desperately trying to misrepresent myself by attaching maps and models and other people's claims to me would suggest a huge, huge hit piece. And more is coming. I think the words flat earth are going to be loaded with even more tosh. And I think we're going to see certain players change their role, shall we say. It all looks rather obvious. I don't want to say too much, but it all looks rather obvious to me now, having just sat back and watched some of this from behind the scenes for the last few weeks and not really said too much about it. Been interesting seeing the propaganda and misrepresentations and documentaries and all that other stuff made about me, where again, total lies and misrepresentations of maps and models and claims, and people claiming I'm a con man and I'm a flat earth preacher, a cult leader. It's desperate and it's ridiculous stuff, lads. And the reason you have to do it and attach maps and models and other people's claims and try and devalue what I stand by is because what I stand by can be verified by all, doesn't cost a penny, it proves the globe earth is physically impossible. Which brings me straight back to the final experiment. And this is the question that no one can answer. How does a circling sun in Antarctica prove a physically impossible globe earth? It doesn't, does it? Which is why we've got such a big push with the propaganda to help this pantomime that's coming in December. If you cannot see it by now, don't know what to say to you. It's rather obvious at this point in time. Have a good one, everyone.